So I'm having a chat with Tony Christie. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Busy, but good.
Good. And yeah, I'm guessing you're busy for a couple of reasons. Firstly, you've got a Christmas single out called It's Getting Close to Christmas. Tell us a little bit about the track.
It's a song that was sent to me, given to me by three writers that my son got hold of it. And I know the three writers. One of them, Henry Priestman, was involved with Dream Boats and Petticoats, which I did a few years ago in the West End. I did a 3-month season doing that musical. There's another one called Adam Dennis and John Beck, who I don't know particularly, but they are session players. And they sent this song to my son Sean, who is my manager, and it's called Getting Close to Christmas. And I heard it, and I thought, my God, it's a family song. You know what I mean? It's all about family. So I did a version just with a guitar and vocal, and played it to my record label, and they said, "Oh my God, do a proper version of it. We'd get the orchestra in and do the big thing." So which I did, and they put it out, and everybody's raving about it. They all love the song anyway.
Yeah, no, definitely. And the other thing that's been keeping you busy is you've released a compilation CD of your greatest hits. Tell us a bit about the reason behind doing that.
Well, I had nothing to do with it. It took me by surprise, to be honest with you. I've been sort of all over the world doing things. I got back, and my son said, "Oh, by the way, Dad," he said, they're putting your album out. They've made an album, a triple album of all your stuff going back to the sort of 60s. I thought, really? Yeah, he said, they've got all your songs together, and they've made an album, 70 songs, and it's called the Essential Collection. And I was staggered going back all those years, and I thought, did I record that? I had to listen to it. Of course I did, yes.
Do you wish you had more of an input on the release then, deciding kind of more as to what you would want on there, and what maybe there's some tracks on there that you probably wouldn't have wanted to put on there?
No, there's about 6 tracks which I'm glad they put on, because they were waiting to go onto albums which never were put on. So they're there, and they're now out there for people to listen to. So there's about 6 or 7 new tracks on the album. But it's a great. I mean, I know it's mine, but it really is a great triple album, and it's not expensive. I couldn't believe it.
Well, you've written some hits over the years, and we touched on this last time you spoke. But when you kind of re-released "Is This the Way to Amarillo" for charity, tell me a little bit about what it was like for you, and obviously getting Peter Kay involved to do it as well, and how popular it then got.
Yeah, it was out of the blue, basically, because my wife and I, we left the UK in about 1990. I was so popular around the rest of the world, it was nothing happening for me in the UK. And we had a place in Spain, and I said, you know what, let's go and let's sell up and go and live there. At least I can go and play golf in shorts and a t-shirt, and be warm. And then it's easy to fly from Madrid and whatever to anywhere I want to go in the world. And so that's what we did. We went to live in Spain for 15 years. Now, out of the blue, my son rang me and he said that the record label, all my songs, we wanted to put a best-of album out. And they said that if I came over to the UK, back to the UK, and did a tour to promote it, they would TV advertise it, and they said it would guarantee it being a top 10 hit. So I said, well, if you can arrange me, get me a tour together, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Which he did. He rang round, found an agent and all this business, and got me it was about a 40-day tour. And it was selling out. Now, I did halfway through it, I got a phone call regarding Amarillo, that Peter Kay wanted to use it on his comic relief album, TV thing. And they said, can he use it? And we said, yeah. And they said, well, they said to my son, would your dad be available to be on the video? So he says, yeah, well, he's on tour at the moment, but when are you doing the shoot? And they said, well, tomorrow morning. And I was in New York, at the theatre in New York, and I said, well, I can get a train in the morning, do it, and the next night, I think it was in Preston or somewhere, I said, I can do that, get the train down, do my bit, and get back. So I did that, I'd got this. The funny thing was that I just bought this fantastic suit from the West End, and it cost a fortune. I thought, this will look good. So I went down there, got the train down, and walked in where they were recording this thing. And I showed them. I said, "Look at this, Peter. Look at this suit. It looked great." And he said, "No." And he held up this purple big suit. He said, "I want you to wear this," which was his. I said, "Well, you know, you're like 3 stone heavier than me." And he said, "Yeah." He says, "I said, I still look silly." He says, "Well, it is a comedy. It's a comedy video." I said, "Oh." So he made me use it. He said, "You put it on." I put the trousers on. They kept falling down, so they had to put braces on them, and they had to put pins down the back of the jacket because it was just so big. And we did this thing which I thought was a rehearsal, and we did that, went through it, and then they said, "Thank you," and I said, "What?" And they said, "That's it, thank you." I said, "Wasn't that a rehearsal?" No, that was it, thank you. So I said, "Oh." So I then had to go to the station, get a train up to Preston, I think it was, for that night's part of the tour. And then I just forgot about it. But my album was in the charts at the time. I think it was number 3. And by the weekend, it had gone to number 1, followed by Amarillo, which had been played and shot to number 1. And suddenly, from 15 years of not having anything basically in the UK, apart from a thing I did with Pulp, which I couldn't get over to promote, which was Walk Like a Panther, I think it was. That was a top 10 hit, but I was so busy around the rest of the world I couldn't even plug it. But apart from that, I just that was it. I had 7 weeks at number 1, and really that's what got me back in the UK. It got me back. We came over and touring, and my wife said it's nice to be back, and we're seeing our kids more, and they're having kids, so we're seeing grandkids now. So we moved back to the UK.
Ah, good. And obviously touching on touring as well. What's the plan for next year in 2023? Are you hoping to be out on the road?
Oh God, yes, I am. Yeah, I am. If I'm still above ground, yes. It's a big year. It's a big year for me next year. I mean, I've got to go to Nashville in the next after Christmas, after the New Year. I'm down. I'm making 2 albums over there. And they're so good over there anyway that we should do that with 2 albums in a couple of weeks, do the full lot. And then in April it's my I know you won't believe this, but it's my 80th birthday. So the record lab, they said we're doing a special year for you, and I think they didn't say it, but I think what they thought, we're going to work you to death. So they're booking tours, albums. Compilations, and it's just all over the world. I shall be so busy, but I don't mind because I'm a workaholic anyway, so I'm looking forward to it.
Good, excellent. Well, Tony, it's been a pleasure having a chat with you.
Thank you. Well, I did all the talk.
That's the way I like it, though. That's the way to do it. I ask a couple of questions, and you just talk at me.
Okay.